For those of you that don't know me, I am Tiffany with Animal House Photography, and I wanted just to take a few minutes to give you a little tidbit of information and help with something that I think can really help your spring sessions this coming season. I focus primarily on lifestyle and documentaries, photography for babies and families. And I know a lot of us are coming out of winter season where we either were investing in our education and taking time to kind of absorb all those things that we weren't able to have time for before or after fall, or we've been playing catch up on household things, or we've been planning and dreaming for what our spring is going to look like. Um, whatever that may be for you, I know that a lot of you are just excited and ready to tackle spring. I feel like I always go into spring with this newness and this energy and just these ideas. And so I know that a lot of you have down your settings and you know how to shoot in manual. You're confident with that. You're confident with your lighting, even maybe, and maybe even some of your styling things. But what I wanted to take some time to help you with were some of the deeper elements of creating a photograph piece of art beyond just the basic things of settings. And one of those elements is what I like to refer to as the reading path. And I remember learning about reading paths um, in the past, and it was something that really opened my eyes to a way to level up my images in ways that I had never seen them before. Um, if you haven't taken courses by Michelle McKay, she is a photographic genius and just really has a great way of helping you look deeper. So, with that being said, I want to share some images with you, and I want to talk to you a little bit about reading paths and what they are and how you can start using them right away with your spring sessions. So let me make this a little bit smaller for you. Okay, so you can see over here on my screen this adorable little family. We actually shot this about a week ago, and I want to talk to you about how reading paths have really enhanced these images. It's subtle, but it's something that I really think is going to help you and go a long way. So when you're looking at an image, naturally your eyes go to a focal point in that image. Usually it's a point that maybe the light is pointing that way, maybe your leading lines are pointing that way, but there's something that really draws your eye to this point in the picture. For me, when I look at this image, my eyes are drawn right here to Dad. Partially, it's the light that's coming in right here on his face that's illuminating him. It's his gaze, it's his expression, that joyfulness. It draws me right in to Dad, who is, to me, kind of the centerpiece of this image. So once we determine where that centerpiece is of our photo, then it can help us look at our reading path. And all a reading path is it is the path that your eyes take when they are inside of an image. Inside of a photographic image, inside of your home, someone else's home, when you enter a room, when you're outside. Reading paths are everywhere. It just simply refers to the path or the route that your eyes follow. And what makes a good reading path is when your eyes are able to start on that focal point and they can have a clear, easy way to make their way down and all the way back around and close that path. What you don't want is for your eyes to be confused and not know where to go. So let's kind of look at this image, and I'm going to walk you through what the reading path looks like here, and then we'll look at a few more of these images as well. So right here, my eyes start with Dad. His joy. I just love his expression here. He was thoroughly into his family, and I love that. And so from there, my eyes go right down to Mama's gaze, and they kind of hang out here. Like I kind of do a little bounce back and forth between Mom and Dad. And when my eyes are kind of done there, it leads me down. We can kind of see mom's hair as kind of one of those lines we talked about. And it kind of leads us right down here to this sweet little baby. And you can see baby's gaze is right on the camera, which I know sometimes as lifestyle photographers, we focus so much on not looking. But there is an appropriate time for a gaze to be focused right in. It invites us into the story, but that's a whole nother topic. But we look here and we see sweet baby's face. Because mom is grasping her here, we're able to easily follow down mom's arm around baby and right here to where mom's other hand is grasping baby. It's a nice closed path here. There's no wandering limbs. My eyes aren't confused at all as to where they need to go next. From here, my eyes can go right back up to mom, and then I end up back here in this little lock gaze between mom and dad. And dad's hand, because of where it is, it's keeping this part of the path closed, right? So from dad's hand, I'm able to travel up. His fingers are pointing up this direction, up his face, and up here to this little boy who's got his hands closed right on top of dad's head. We can follow this up here to this little boy. And then we also see this little boy's gaze is locked back down on mom. So we can kind of travel back down, back up, back down and up. And then my eyes just hang here for a while. There's nothing leading me out of the image and out of the focus of this family of 4. And that's exactly what you want to happen. Okay, so let's look at a couple more. I'm going to move this so it stays in the front. Okay, all right. So one of my other favorite images from this session. And it's just so beautiful. There are connections here. I'm going to kind of take you through the reading path again. So right away, I don't know where your eyes go, but my eyes are right here between this little smooch between mama and her little boy. It's the focal point. The light is hitting right here. Their expressions, everything kind of leads me to that this is the story here. They are the main characters. This is the main part of the story. And so because we have their heads pointing towards each other and they've got this little kiss that this almost kiss that they're entering into, my eyes can kind of stay and they can bounce here for a little bit. And really they could stay here for a very long time. But once I kind of have done that bounce between these two, I can follow down this little boy's arm, and because his hand is connected to dad's head, it keeps this path closed. Had his hand been out here to the side, then my eyes would have wanted to wander away and out of this image instead of being able to stay in this closed circuit that they've created. I can follow down this way from dad. We see right here how there's not that gap between mom and son, so down this leg, right up here to baby, right up here to mom, and I keep it in this circle. And so this reading path is a really simple one for me to follow. I'm going to show you one more. All right, we'll go with dad and his little girl. Gosh, I cannot get over how joyous this dad is. If all dads came to our sessions, wouldn't we be the happiest of photographers? Okay, so let me show you here how this reading path is working. So right here, we can see, even though dad's not making eye contact with us, we can see exactly where his gaze is. And that gaze is right here to baby. Immediately my eyes are drawn again to dad's gaze towards baby. Somewhere between these two, I'd say, is where I would say the focal point of the story is. But let's kind of look at how this path goes. So we have these 4 heads here together, keeping our path closed. There's no room to guess where our eyes need to do and where our eyes need to travel. It's really simple for us, and it makes it pleasing to our eye. So here we've got dad. His gaze is going right to baby, who's just as happy as she can possibly be. We follow the light down and around her arm, and we see here her little tiny hand that is touching daddy's hand and is connected there. And so we're keeping this path closed. And then we're going down Dad's arm, back up, and back around. And it keeps us in this cycle. Even if we venture down here, because the way his arm is pointed up and supporting her bottom, it keeps the path closed for us the entire time. Now, what would I have done differently in this image? Okay, so the one thing I would have tweaked here is I would have taken just the tiniest step back so that Dad's whole arm would have been in the image. And then our reading path truly could have been a completely closed one. Whereas here we might be left wondering what's going on the other side. Had we been able to see his whole arm here, we would have been able to easily close that path. But even still, because the way everything is connected here, it gives us a clear vision of where we're going with this. And that is what's so important. So when you are shooting this spring, take the time to look at especially the limbs of the people in the picture. It's a small thing, but it's a huge thing. If you can make sure that limbs are connected and that they're not loose, we don't have anyone's hands that are just hanging down that lead our eyes out of the frame, it's going to make such a big difference. Keeping those arms connected and close, it gives us a way to read that picture and to keep our focus. Keeping small gaps between your subjects and no gaps at all makes a huge difference with your reading path. When there is space between, there is room for our eyes to be able to go out of that image and to get a little bit lost. And that's what we do not want. We don't want our eyes trying to decide where it is that we are going to go. And so if you limit that gap and you close it in and keep people close together, then your eyes are not left wandering. And it makes for the most beautiful story when there's that connection, when there's that intentional closeness and connection there that doesn't allow us as readers to be lost wondering what is the message here. So reading paths, a simple thing, but something that you can start noticing. You can notice this, like I said, in your kitchen, in your kids' room, outside, go through some of your old images and start looking at where are your eyes initially focused and then where are they taking you? And is there anything that's breaking your focus and taking you out of that intended image? So this is just one of the things that you can focus on right now. We will do some additional little videos that talk about your composition, your lighting, framing, all of those things that help to make these images exactly what you want them to be. I hope this was helpful, and I look forward to seeing you again soon. Bye-bye.